Welcome back to Rickey Does It, where today I'll be making Jack Skellington out of construction paper. So Jack's head is pretty round, but does have a subtle kinda egg shape. And now his chest and neck. Jack is pretty skinny, so I'll be using brains here as a point of reference, since he's the thinnest friend we have. Let me put some supports on that neck to help keep his head up. So I start working on his suit jacket, but realize that A, it's actually really short, like teeny tiny, and B, he's got a lot more shape in this chestal area. So let me get a take 2 and make it a lot shorter and a bit wider. Now let's get those Steve Urkel pants taken care of. And I guess I got a bit carried away with that high waist, but nothing I can't easily remedy. And a bit of black for his jacket collar, and now the wings of his bat bow tie, which I decided to just cut out 2 at a time. So my first attempt at this bat face is a bit lopsided, so I decided to just draw half the face, fold the paper, and then cut it out that way to make it nice and symmetrical. So let's get him some shoes. And some tails for his jacket. Now if you enjoy what you're seeing here, why not share this video? That would really help me out. And don't forget to subscribe for all future videos, and who knows, maybe one of them will be something you've suggested. So now his arms, and why not make them just the right length to hold Celie's hands? And now his hands, which I'll also be doing 2 at a time. And now we draw. And let's figure out that face. I definitely want his eyes to be slightly different in shape and size, so I'll do those 1 at a time. Let's make that one a bit bigger. Is it possible I just made it smaller? Well, here's take 3, and let me just make them both bigger. There we go. Now we color, and I'll start with some shading on his skull, and his hands, now some shading on his suit, and it always tickles me how much the black crayon on black construction paper really makes a difference. And now we ink. And I know I usually save the face for last in these videos, but I got something else in mind for this episode's piece of resistance. So last but not least, I picked up this white gel pen to make the stripes on Jack's suit. I've never used one before and was concerned it might not even stick to any of the parts colored with crayon. But not only did it work just fine, it was exactly what I needed to make this figure complete. So there he is, our Jack Skellington. And here we have Jack and Celie, and I think they look great together. And how about an extended Rickey Does It Christmas family? And I just love how these two came out. So if there's anyone else you'd like to see me make, let me know in the comments, and yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for all future videos, and why not give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who's awesome. So welcome back to Rickey Does It, where today I'll be making Celie out of construction paper. Now Celie has a more unique head shape, but I still want her to be roughly proportional to all her other friends, so I'll be using Moana here as a reference just because she too has a wider head shape. Actually, her neck should be a bit longer. Huh, that's a bit more gray alien than Celie, so I'm gonna round her head off a bit more. And just glue it back on. Now the fun thing about Celie's dress is that I'll actually be making it with mostly scraps from other projects. At first I'm not really sure how I want to piece the dress together, but I figure I'll sketch it out on scrap paper first and go from there. Now I realize the dress cuts down a bit farther than the bust I've cut out, so let me fix that. And since she already has a seam along her collar, it's going to work out just fine. So I decide I'm just going to mark off what color each section should be, then cut out each piece for a pattern. I guess I should say that I'm working from the colors of the 1993 toy that came out for the movie. I was surprised to find that the actual colors from the movie are rather subdued, mostly just subtle shades of orange and pink. But the toy is what I see most cosplayers modeling their dresses from, and I think it just works better for construction paper. So let's just start with this pink panel. Now I'm going to outline this orange, but I'm also going to add little tabs to overlap the other panels, and that way I'll have a place to glue and connect it all together. So let me just glue this top part down. Trim it up a bit. Now this teal panel is the most striking change from the movie. Again, you see it reproduced everywhere, but it's just not in the movie. Kinda like the Luke I Am Your Father of doll costumes. So this pink piece is going to have some black stripes, and those I'm just going to cut out and glue on. And I'm using this ruler kinda for spacing, but mostly to keep them parallel. And then I just trim off the excess and glue it on like the rest. So if you enjoy what you're seeing here, why not share this video? That would really help me out. And don't forget to subscribe for all future videos, and who knows, maybe one of them will be something you've suggested. And I really do need to find a more elegant solution for cutting out small circles, cause they're always such a hassle to get nice and round. But yeah, here's me trying to figure out these dots, and in the end, they're fine enough. Now this orange patch, and there's her dress. So let's get her legs. And her socks. And her shoes. Actually, let me make those socks a bit taller. And get those pins glued on. So let's get her sleeves. And this orange one is a bit more raggedy on the edges. So let's get those glued on. And now this head, I feel like I glued it on too crooked, so let me take care of that. Now let's get her arms. And I kind of feel like I cut these way too thin. So let's get a take 2 on the arms, and I'll just keep the hands, again reattaching where her seams are. So now her hair, and this is just the part that hangs in the back of her head. And now the front part of her hair. And I somehow made that too wide to fit the back, so let's try that again. Trim it all down, and get it glued on. And now we draw. Gonna lay out all her seams, and then get that face figured out. I'm gonna cut her eyes out of white, and a little red for her lips. Get that all glued down, and get some more details laid out. Now I'm gonna do the patterns on her dress. These dots and stripes I'll just do in dark blue pencil on the orange fabric. And these lines I'll just do straight in black ink. And the same for these swirls, which I'll just freehand. And now we color. And with so many different color panels, it'll be interesting to get a consistent flow of shading throughout the figure, but it's also a ton of fun just having a bunch of colors out and going back and forth between them. Now let's stripe up her socks, and darken up her hair a bit, and I'll be using colored pencil and crayon just to get some varied texture. And now we ink. And this is also super fun, just all the different stitches and seams and shapes, and as always, I just love how this final stage just brings everything to life. Oh yeah, I forgot the red of her nails, and this colored pencil works just fine on this blue paper. And now her face. Now for some reason, I start futzing with her hair even though it looks totally fine to me here. And while that's happening, I realize I smudged some ink on her forehead. So in the end, I just added some shading, fighting every perfectionist urge to redo the whole head. And I also replaced the top of her hair, even though, again, it looks perfectly fine the way it is. So yeah, there she is, our Celie. And here she is with Stripe and Gizmo from last year's Christmas specials. And why not a sneak peek of Jack too? So if there's anyone else you'd like to see me make, let me know in the comments, and yeah, thanks for watching. Click here to watch the playlist I just mentioned. Click down here for my latest video and what YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next. And be sure to subscribe for all future videos. See you soon!